Pontius Pilate is a name that you will often come across in the accounts of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ in the Bible. He was the fifth governor of the Roman province of Judea and served under Emperor Tiberius from 26 AD to 36 AD. Pontius Pilate played a crucial role in biblical events mentioned in the New Testament. The mystifying decision of Pontius Pilate, where he permitted the gathered crowd to choose the release of Barabbas, a notorious criminal in Judea, instead of Jesus, whom he knew to be falsely accused, left an indelible mark on his legacy. Despite his wife dreaming about Jesus the night before and advising him not to get involved, Pilate still handed Christ over to be crucified. After the crowd chose Barabbas, Pilate made the gesture of washing his hands, indicating that he had nothing to do with the unjust decision. However, this act did not save him from his fate. For that reason, in today's video, we will discuss the life and tragic end of Pontius Pilate, who he was, how he rose to power, why he washed his hands, why he allowed Jesus to be crucified, and the consequences of the choices he made. Please stay with me until the end. You will be surprised by the ending of his story. To get a broader understanding of this man, let's look at it in this way. The Roman Empire conquered and occupied the region of Judea in 63 BC, bringing it under Roman rule. This occupation was resented by many Jews who opposed foreign domination and yearned for political independence. The Romans and the Jews had distinct cultural and religious practices. The Romans were polytheistic, worshiping a pantheon of gods, while the Jews were monotheistic, believing in one God. This cultural and religious divide led to frequent clashes in beliefs and practices. The Roman Empire imposed heavy taxes on its provinces, including Judea, to fund its vast military and administrative expenses. The burden of taxation, along with other tributes, caused discontent among the Jewish population. Roman governors and prefects, such as Pontius Pilate, were appointed to oversee the provinces. Their authority included maintaining order, collecting taxes, and ensuring loyalty to the Roman Empire. The manner in which these officials exercised their power sometimes led to conflict with the local population. The Romans occasionally showed cultural insensitivity to Jewish religious practices, for example by attempting to install Roman emblems or statues in Jerusalem. This clashed with Jewish religious beliefs against graven images, provoking outrage and protests. There were sporadic uprisings and resistance movements among the Jewish population against Roman rule. Groups like the Zealots sought to resist Roman authority through armed rebellions, contributing to an atmosphere of tension and unrest. The early life of Pontius Pilate is not extensively documented, and historical records provide limited information about his background. What is known comes from brief references in historical texts and the accounts of the New Testament in the Bible. Pontius Pilate was born around the year 26 BC, which led to his appointment as governor of Judea from approximately 26 to 36 AD. As prefect, Pilate shared limited civil and religious authority with the Jewish Sanhedrin, an assembly of elders. He was responsible for enforcing Roman law, maintaining public order, and administering justice. Pilate had command over Roman military forces in Judea and also oversaw the collection of taxes and tributes. He served as the highest judicial authority in Judea, holding the power to preside over trials, pass judgments, and even enforce capital punishment. Yet when it came to Jesus, Pilate appeared reluctant. In the Gospel of Luke, we read how Pilate tried to pass the responsibility to Herod Antipas, but Herod sent it back to him. Luke describes Pilate as a leader unwilling to take responsibility for such a monumental decision. Luke 23. Even though he found no guilt in Jesus, he lacked the courage to stand firm against the religious leaders and the crowd who demanded crucifixion. As part of a Passover custom, Pilate offered to release a prisoner. He proposed releasing Jesus, but the crowd shouted for Barabbas instead. Despite his wife Claudia warning him about a troubling dream she had concerning Jesus, Pilate still gave in to pressure. Sitting in the judgment seat, Pilate publicly washed his hands, declaring that the responsibility for Jesus' death was not his, but that of the people and their leaders. Subsequently, Jesus was led away to be crucified on Golgotha outside Jerusalem. Pontius Pilate's role in the biblical narrative ends there, but history records that his governance continued to be marked by cruelty. Several years later, Pilate ordered violent actions against Galilean pilgrims and also against Samaritans who were searching for sacred artifacts. These incidents led to complaints being filed against him. As a result, Pilate was recalled to Rome to face judgment by Emperor Tiberius. Before he arrived in Rome, Tiberius died, leaving Pilate's fate uncertain. Under the new emperor Caligula, Pilate was removed from office and sent into exile in Gaul, modern-day France. What happened next remains debated. The early church historian Eusebius claimed that Pilate eventually took his own life due to disgrace. However, this tradition is not universally accepted, as historians such as Josephus, Philo, and Tacitus make no mention of such an event. Some scholars suggest Pilate may have simply lived out his days as a retired Roman official, while others argue the story of his suicide arose as a theological symbol of divine justice. In conclusion, the fate of Pontius Pilate remains shrouded in uncertainty and open to interpretation. Was he a coward who bowed to pressure, a cruel ruler who lost his power, or a man crushed by the weight of his decisions? What is certain is that his name will forever be tied to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, a moment that changed the world forever. And if this message spoke to you, share it with a friend who needs the reminder. When we bow to pressure, we miss the power of standing for truth. Drop "I stand with Jesus" in the comments if you're ready to choose him over the crowd. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Amen.